Hello, I'm Brad Belt. I'm a member of the Town of Kiowa Island Council, and this is another in our periodic series of podcasts with Low Country leaders. Today, we're in for a special treat. We're here at Station 4 on Kiowa Island, and I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with not just a leader in the Low Country, but one of the true heroes in the Low Country, Deputy Chief Jackie Stanley, or now retired Deputy Chief Jackie Stanley. You retired from the force after 43 years of dedicated service back in December, December 15th. And just a little over a week ago, the town of Kiowa Island acknowledged your long-term service to Johns Island and Kiowa Island by proclaiming February 6th as Jackie Stanley Day.
Yes.
So it's great to have this opportunity to speak with you. So that's the most recent happenings. If I can, I would like to roll back the clock and have a discussion about the life and times of Jackie Stanley.
Okay.
You were born and raised on Johns Island, correct?
Yes.
So,
Born and raised on Johns Island. And we used to travel a lot because my family, my mother moved to Hartford, Connecticut.
Mhm.
So me and my sister used to travel, be there here in the summer, up there in the winter, back and forth.
well, and I understand your family has even a much longer history on Johns Island.
Yes, my grandparents goes back to the 1900s on Johns Island. Through the years, farming, doing different things, but it goes back to the early 1900s. My family on Johns Island, and
So you and your family certainly, and you have seen a lot of change on Johns
Yes.
Island over the
Yes.
period of time. What was life like back when you were a young man living on Johns Island?
well, it was a lot simpler. To be honest, it was a lot simpler. You didn't have as many things going on as is going on now because through the years things evolved. But it's real simple. Back there, where kids used to go out and play and do different things, you don't see that anymore because the times have changed. Back then, we were more outside doing activities. Now they're more on the computers, the Game Boys, and stuff like that. That's a lot of significant changes for us.
What interested Jackie Stanley when he was a young man? Was it sports? Was it fishing? Was it school? Or something completely else?
I was pretty much all around. Like a lot of sports. Football was one of my best sports I liked. I used to play Little League baseball. We had a community team on Johns Island. We used to travel all over Charleston County to play in different other areas, different teams when we were younger. I was a pitcher and a shortstop. I enjoyed that.
So that clearly meant you were the best athlete on the team.
I was one of them.
Okay.
I was one of them. And through the years, just got older and I more evolved into football, more than baseball at the time.
And did you play football or baseball in school?
Yes,
Okay.
I played not baseball because St. John's High School, where I graduated from, didn't have a baseball team.
Okay.
But they had a football team, so I played there. I played running back for the high school at the time, and then after that, my career changed into the fire service.
So the classic question,
Mhm.
when you were a young man, did you always want to be a fireman?
Not really.
Okay.
When I first graduated from school, my grandfather, bless his heart, he told me, I'm going to give you a year. And he did. He gave me every Friday, he gave me money to go out every Friday for a year. After that 1 year, he come in there in the room, because that's who I stayed with at the time, came in the room and said, now it's time for you to find a job. So I said, okay, I need to do something. So I walked out to the store on this corner in Midbank and Midbank Highway, and fire truck went by. I said, wow, that looked interesting. And that's how it
Serendipity.
So I said, I went down there and I asked them guys what the process is about getting on hiring at the fire department. And they told me I went down to the employment agency and I applied there. At the time when I went there, Charleston County was placing minorities on different jobs all through Charleston County. fire department, police department, waterfront, different things like that. And I choose the fire service.
Okay.
And that's how I got on at St. John's. And what they do, you work a year, and it's up to the fire department or any job to hire you full-time. And I was hired full-time with the fire service.
And how old were you at that time?
19.
19 years old. And 43 years later, here we are today. But a lot of change. And in the fire department itself, you've always been with the St. John's Fire District.
Yes.
I suspect that the facilities back in that time, 1980, and the equipment wasn't quite like this facility we're in right now.
Then we had all the model trucks. Back then, I think it was fire truck vendors was Mack, E1, and Pierce was around then. But they were older trucks. When I first came into the fire department, we had 4 islands we covered, and we had 1 station on each island. So when Kiowa Island get a fire, trucks got to come all the way from Johns Island, Wamala, all the way here to fight the fire with the truck already here. So it wasn't, we had like 35 to 36 personnel at the time.
And 140 some now?
144.
Okay.
And also when I first came on, it was volunteer and paid. So we had like 100 and something volunteers.
Okay.
At the time, and like 35 paid personnel. So the volunteers did a lot.
And when was the first time you were ever on Kiowa Island?
In the late 80s. I was stationed at Station 4, not this building, one of the older buildings.
Okay. And where was that located?
That was located right at the front gate.
Okay.
Coming in right behind the general store, there was a one-stall facility we used to stay there. That's where the fire station was.
Okay. And how many fires have you ever had to respond to on Kiowa Island?
A lot of them, but I would say 20-something actual fires. We went to more medical calls than anything.
Medical calls, but still a lot of fires.
A lot of fires.
And what was usual cause of those fires?
Back then, early on when we started in the fire service, fire prevention wasn't as a high thing in the fire service, not like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Prevention was a thing. We had a lot of the parts on the stove, central heating and air unit overheating.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, they're cooking on the deck and the grill and catching the deck on fire. Those type of calls.
What was the most significant fire incident you ever had to deal with? Kiowa Island or elsewhere on Johns Island or Wadmalaw?
Well, Kiowa Island had the larger facilities. We had several on Kiowa. We had 29 and 30 Surfside, 2 3-story houses burning at the same time. Then we had, I think, one of the resort clubhouses burning. Those was the 2 significant ones that I responded to along with all the personnel.
Okay. Now, what has changed in the way that the fire department, the St. John's Fire District, operates, and what has been your role in that? You were promoted to deputy chief back in 2013, so I believe you were the first African-American deputy fire chief on St. John's. Congratulations for that. What changes have you been part of bringing about to the St. John's Fire Department?
Help with the growth. We have, not saying we, but when I was working for the fire department before I retired, we developed about 10 to 15 years ago an auto aid collaboration with other neighboring departments, City of Charleston, North Charleston, St. Andrews, James Island, and us. We collaborate responding to calls together. But one of the things was for safety. After the Charleston 9 and on Savannah Highway where the 9 firemen died, but at that time we were not responding together. After that came out of the coalition where we said we have to make it safe for all fibers. So then we got together through years of planning and work, and they came up with this auto aid package where we all respond to the call. Back then, we didn't go into other people's districts, but now we go where this closest fire truck go. We at life and safety now. And that was one of the biggest changes.
And this is no longer going to be your responsibility, but I understand there are further changes coming to St. John's Fire District and a new facility on Kiowa River, near Kiowa River.
Yeah, we on the district is in the process now of building a new station there. Also on Jones Island Main Road, facility is being built, a new maintenance facility that overdue. We really need that because the stations, the department have grown immensely. You see the size of the trucks we have now; they are larger and bigger. So we need that. But that's the main thing right there.
And what other changes do you think may be needed to be able to accommodate the growth and needs of our community? You've actually, one thing you touched upon was not just responding to fires, but medical.
Well, one thing with St. John's Fire District, we are 95% EMTs. At one point when I came in, it was more first responders, but now we're up to training where they're going in the direction. We got over 95% EMTs on the trucks. They're in the direction of working toward having EMTs, more EMTs, paramedics, more medical base. Because, unfortunately, the times that we need that more now. Because of the distance away from the hospitals, we have to have some type of medical training. And each 5 minutes get there first.
And what about ambulances or medical vehicles being available all the time to Kiowa residents?
Well, for what I understand, the EMS have a unit at our Station 6 daily. I don't know if they're manned it every day, but there's a unit there to try to offset the response coming so far out here. So they have a unit there at Station 6, and I think one is at Medic 10 on Benson Carriage.
Okay. And so that raises an issue about the staffing challenges. Are there staffing challenges in the fire department?
Yeah, definitely in the fire department. We always have openings, people leaving for various reasons. So the turnover is not super high, but it is there. And the district is all constantly hiring people all the time to fill those vacancies.
So no longer your responsibility. You are now a retired young man.
Yes.
What's next for Jackie Stanley?
Well, right now, late last year, I applied through Charleston County for the Fire Commission. And I was appointed to the Fire Commission through Charleston County in the governor's office last year, December. So I'm on the Fire Commission now for the Fire District.
Oh, congratulations on that. So you haven't fully checked out yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So what will those responsibilities entail, and how will you continue to interact in the Johns Island and Kiowa Island and Seabrook Island community?
Well, the commission is there to help support the fire chief, the fire district, and all the constituents in our district. All 4 islands, we are there to assist the fire chief in whatever endeavor he feels that we need to do for the district.
Very good. Well, Deputy Chief, retired Deputy Chief, thank you very much for your 43 years of dedicated service to our community, and thank you for your continued service on the Fire Commission, and we look forward to staying in touch with you as always.
You're sure enough welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.